evening. Thanks for sticking around after the game. A memorial service held in White earlier today for the former pastor of the First Baptist Church. It was for Dale Getz, the military chaplain who was killed in Afghanistan earlier this month by an IED. This memorial service for Getz was held at the high school in his memory and was meant to honor his life and his service. Getz served at First Baptist Church for 3 years before deciding to become a military chaplain. It was his first and only pastor job. Well, Governor Rounds will make a stop in Renner tomorrow afternoon to tour preparations for flooding and any damage the town has encountered. Earlier today, inmates, volunteers, and county employees spent the day sandbagging to protect the fire station and houses from potential flooding. The National Weather Service has predicted that the Big Sioux River will rise to the highest level it's been since 1993. Emergency Manager Lynn DeYoung says they figure 150 people will be impacted, 40 to 50 homes and the fire station. Now, meanwhile, the Minnehaha County Sheriff's Office and the Highway Department are advising no travel in eastern Minnehaha County because of flooding. The only north-south routes in that part of the county that are clear right now are Cliff Avenue and Interstate 29. Roads leading into Renner are also closed. And in Sioux County, the road crossing into South Dakota at Beloit is closed on the South Dakota side. Now, you're reminded not to drive around barricades because not only is it dangerous, it's illegal. And an update on flooding, it's changed from moderate to major for the Big Sioux at Haw, and it's changed from minor to moderate for the Rock River at Rock Valley. Well, volunteers flocked throughout Sioux Falls today for Volunteer Sioux Falls, a program that pairs up groups with people who need work done like painting and home repairs. This is the third year the city's done this, and it is bigger than ever. And the volunteers with Sioux Falls Up and Coming had hoped to paint 2 houses today, but because it was wet out earlier, they could only do 1. To learn more about the group, head to KSFY.com and click on News Links. A firefighter suffered minor injuries this morning battling a house fire in Sioux Falls. It happened at 1806 South Waltz Avenue. Firefighters encountered heavy smoke throughout the house and fire burning on the first level. Now, they had the fire under control in 20 minutes. A neighbor saw the fire and called 911.
This is where the water was on the Metalcraft building. Not only are businesses flooded, but every business in Mason City is affected by this record flood. Walking through what used to be Parkersburg City Hall, you can see desks just torn to shreds, and all that remains are some small memories of the city of Parkersburg.
It is astonishing how quickly the water is rising in Renner right now.
We were just standing over here on the dirt road just about a half hour ago, and there was nothing there. Just came up so fast out of nowhere. There's nothing there this morning.
Charlotte Koopman has water in her garage right now. She's waiting to see whether it gets into her house because it's still on the rise.
Oh, it's going to get a lot worse. We were hoping it was going to stop. Crest time was 6 o'clock today as of yesterday noon, and they keep pushing it back. So it's going to get a lot worse than it already is.
One thing that we keep hearing, how ridiculous it is that this is happening towards the end of September.
I wasn't expecting it right now. That more when the snow was melting and earlier in the summer it would be worse.
That was a little unexpected, I guess.
Meanwhile, Matt Ellis has lived in his house for 12 years. This is the first time he's had flooding. Right now, it's in his basement.
If it gets higher, it gets up to the main level of the house or not, and if it stays out of the main level of the house, I guess it'll be all right. I don't have anything in my basement, so that's a bonus.
Luckily, both Ellis and Kloopman have flood insurance, so what gets damaged should be covered.
Hopefully the flood insurance will cover the furnace and water heater or anything else that I do have downstairs.
In the meantime, Ellis is taking it in stride while he watches the water rise and creep towards his house.
There ain't much you can do right now. Just sit there and watch it, I guess.
A lot of sex offenders in this area.
Christy Phillips lives in Central Sioux Falls and knows several dozen registered sex offenders do too, and it worries her.
I believe that being so close to Axtell School, that it is an issue.
Her close proximity is one of the reasons she routinely checks the state's sex offender registry, and because of this, she's had to teach her kids some tough lessons early.
And I tell them never, if they tell you to be quiet, don't be quiet. You scream as much as you want, kick, bite, you do what you got to do. You don't let them take you from the spot that they found you.
Right. The U.S. Justice Department says South Dakota's registry is one of the 4 best in the nation. But when it comes to high concentrations of sex offenders in Sioux Falls, Attorney General Marty Jackley says his hands are tied.
And it's a balancing, and that balancing is the registry needs to be fair for the people that are on it, but it also needs to protect children and communities, and so it's important to remember that those individuals that have committed those type of crimes have put themselves in that situation.
While that's the case, he says it's still being addressed.
When it comes to the cluster problem, that was a big debate and a discussion within the legislature, and I think it remains an ongoing discussion.
For Phillips, she'd just like to see more space between offenders.
You know, it's really hard, you know, violating a person's rights. They just still do have rights. So I think that it's a great idea to spread them apart, especially if it is in a school zone.
For 2.5 years, Terry Westerber has brought his dog Earl to the VA hospital in Sioux Falls. Earl also visits other hospitals and nursing homes across the area.
No other dog at the VA or coming or going there sees as many people and touches as many lives as Earl Jackson does.
During that time, Earl has visited the VA Medical Center every week and is loved by the patients, visitors, and staff.
If you ask the staff, they will tell you a lot of people set their appointments up strictly on Wednesdays and Thursdays just so they can come and see Earl Jackson, who's the best thing that's happened to the VA in a long, long time.
Now his visits to the VA have stopped after Westerber got a letter from the VA stating he could no longer bring Earl as of August 31st. That's because they now require all dogs to be certified with an organization, and they're going through the Delta Society of Therapy Dogs. Westerber refuses to join.
It's simply an organization. All the paperwork that the VA or the Delta Society for Therapy Dogs would give me would not make my dogs any smarter, any nicer, any better, any quicker, any easier to get to the VA.
Just a good puppy dog.
The certification policy wasn't always the case. 2 years ago, Laura Jensen began her job as animal visitation liaison. She says at that time the policy was somewhat lax.
So we went about a process of reformatting that policy and helping all the dogs that are here with their handlers understand that that is the standard of care for our veterans, and just like any other hospital.
Did you lose it, huh?
So now every volunteer who brings in a service dog must be certified with the Delta Society.
Play dead dog down, way down.
We have these policies in place, meaning that dogs need to be certified with a therapy agency in order to protect and keep everyone safe, veterans, staff, and visitors.
He's big enough for all three of you to pet him at the same time. That's kind of nice. The reason I will not ever join that society, I have nothing personally against it, except that if I do join it, then I'm obligated to go where they tell me to go.
Despite Westerber's experience with the VA, Jensen says they can't make an exception for Earl.
We have the same policy for all therapy dogs. No matter what a person's experience is, we need to have the same standards so that we're all on the same page.
I hope and pray that the people at the VA see the good that that dog does and grandfathers him in on the basis that they should, that he was there before this Delta Society for Dogs even got there. That's what we're here for. He'll be back over here. Come back here. Where he goes to, intensive care and hospital 100 miles a week.
That is some darn good advertisement for you.
They literally look forward to more than me and this dog showing up than the meal that they got coming to them.
You can't take care of one, you can have one.